Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another video for Dauntless. This is the 4th episode in a series of Dauntless videos we're putting together in light of the game entering open beta. So far we've taken an in-depth look at 3 of the 5 available weapons, and we'll be continuing that with the remaining 2 weapons very soon. But today I want to take a moment to answer a more broad question for those of you interested in checking out the game. I wanted to better explain exactly what Dauntless is and has to offer. Again, I want to thank the guys over at Phoenix Labs for very kindly sponsoring this series. We've teamed up to cover all 5 of the available weapons and cover some of the basics in the game to help those of you that are setting foot in the Shattered Isles for the first time. So if you do enjoy this video and you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated, and be sure to comment down below and let me know if you guys have any questions. Now let's get started. First things first, what exactly is Dauntless? Well, Dauntless is a free-to-play action RPG, and it falls within the hunting genre. A genre I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with if you're subscribed to this channel. You go out, hunt giant beasts, which in this game are called Behemoths, you harvest them for parts, make fancy armor and weapons out of those parts, and then you use your newfound equipment and strength to go and hunt bigger and more powerful Behemoths, and so the cycle goes on. Progression comes through the gear and weapons you acquire, as opposed to a more traditional leveling system found in typical RPGs. Your character doesn't get stronger as you progress through the game, instead your gear and weapons get better, and so too do your skills. So progression is much more skill and equipment based than anything else. So, if hunting giant, boss-like creatures is your thing, maybe you like crafting and collecting a plethora of different armor sets and weapons, or maybe you just like exploring new lands and seeing what the world has to offer, then Dauntless might just be something you want to check out. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper and explore some of the key aspects of the game. First up, the Behemoths. Behemoths are going to be your main target or focus in this game. They're the challenges that await you, the sources of the materials needed to craft your awesome, badass gear and weapons, and ultimately the things that will keep you coming back for more. Behemoths are massive, hulking beasts that have spread throughout the Shattered Isles. They draw their devastating power from ether, which is the energy source that keeps the Isles afloat. Behemoths consume the land and destroy our home, so that's where we, as Slayers, come in. They come in all shapes and sizes, and each Behemoth presents a new challenge for you to overcome. Learning to read their moves, anticipate their attacks, and strike when an opening presents itself is your job as a Slayer. But what exactly are we fighting to protect? And the answer, quite simply, is our home. At the centre of the Shattered Isles is Ramsgate, a city island and the social hub where you'll meet other Slayers and interact with the NPCs around you. Much like any good RPG, you need a place to call home, a place to unwind after battle, a place to stock up on resources, obtain new gear, upgrade your weapons, craft items, and of course, get more quests so that you can head out and continue to forge your legend. And Ramsgate stands at the edge of the frontier, the final port of call before heading out to take on the dangers that await you. Now, assuming you're diving in for the first time, I mentioned at the start that your Slayer doesn't level up. You don't personally get any stronger as you go, and with that in mind, the question remains, how do you progress? And the answer is through gear, weapons, and your own personal skill. As you head out into the world and you embark on your quest, you'll slay the Behemoths that invade the lands. Slaying them rewards you with parts, and using those parts to craft gear is how you become quote-unquote stronger. Want more defense? Get better gear. Want to hit harder? Forge more powerful weapons. And once you've done that, and you've hit your current cap, you then go out and do it again. You use your newfound strength and the skill you've obtained along the way to take on the next challenge, and the next challenge, until eventually, you've taken on everything that stands in your way, and you're wearing the toughest, most fearsome Behemoth as a hat, and wielding its tail as a weapon, or something like that. And speaking of weapons, the game currently has 5 different weapons to choose from. They're all melee focused, but they have a range of different playstyles from quick and fast attacks all the way up to slow, heavy, bludgeoning hits. I've put together a series of weapon tutorials, so if you want to know more about them in depth, then I'll link them down below in the description box. But very briefly, you have the sword, your all-round balanced offering, unrelenting, deadly and precise. With each strike, you charge the blade, and this allows you to string together punishing combos and unleash devastating blasts of energy. If heavy, more deliberate actions are your thing, then you have the axe. With this, you'll slash, sunder, and cleave your enemies. This weapon is all about timing big, heavy, powerful attacks. The harder you hit, the more ether you build, and this ether can then be used for even more powerful attacks. Given the slower nature of the weapon, it will however require a good understanding of your target, but it's also incredibly satisfying to land. Straddling the line between both of those, you have the hammer, a heavy, powerful, but also incredibly versatile weapon capable of both bludgeoning and KOing Behemoths, whilst also dishing out concussive blast thanks to the inbuilt cannon on the weapon. Ride the blast into battle, dish them out mid-combo for added damage, or consume them for even more powerful strikes. The hammer is definitely a unique and exciting weapon. But if speed is really your thing, then you have the Chain Blades, master of mobility. You can attack both at range and close up, dishing out rapid combos, making them an exceptional weapon of choice to exploit a Behemoth's elemental weakness, and thanks to the incredible mobility options, you can zip in and out of combat at the press of a button. And then finally you have the Warpike, the newest addition to the game, a deadly polearm designed for quick, powerful strikes that allow you to maintain pressure on the target whilst also keeping them at arm's reach. Additionally, your attacks allow you to charge up a ranged attack for when you really need to put some distance between you and the behemoth. So, now you know what lies in wait, and you know what tools you can use to get the job done, how does the actual game play out? Well, quite simply, you pick up your quest, you land in the Shattered Isles. Remember that while you're out and about, you can and should gather materials since they'll be used for crafting later on. Along the way, you'll be scouting for the behemoth, and once you've found it, quite simply, you have to kill it. During the fight, as you weaken it, it'll flee, so you then need to pursue it to finish the job, and then once you kill it, you collect any parts that may have dropped, return to Ramsgate, celebrate your victory, and ideally go and craft something badass. The more you learn the behemoths, the more proficient you get at fighting, and then as you go along on your journey, you'll begin helping those around you as they too begin forging their legends. Additionally, keep in mind that the game is still in open beta, and the team at Phoenix Labs have plans to continually expand the game too, so while if you're starting out you'll have plenty of stuff to keep you busy, keep in mind that the experience and the world is continually expanding, so if that's something that sounds appealing to you, then now is a great time to jump in. But that, my friends, is pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, by all means let me know, and be sure to keep it locked as the remaining 2 weapon tutorials will be coming very soon. But until then, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.